Hey everyone, you know that song that's stuck in your head? The one that's all over TikTok and yeah, probably on your personal playlist right now. Well, what if I told you its story started way, way back? I'm talking before smartphones, before the internet, on a simple front porch. Today, we're going to trace the epic journey of how country music leveled up from that porch straight onto your phone.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. How did we go from that old school sound of fiddles and twangy guitars to these massive, chart-topping pop anthems you hear today? It's a wild evolution, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
Honestly, the best way to think about it is like your favorite video game character. They start at level 1 with just some basic gear, but over time, they grind, they level up, they unlock new skills, and get all this awesome new equipment. That is exactly what country music did. So let's hit start and get into it.
All right, here we go. Level 1, from porches to radio. This is the origin story. This is where it all began.
So picture this. It's the early 1900s, deep in the American South. There's no Spotify, no TikTok, nothing. Just people hanging out on their front porches, making music after a long day of work. And this sound, it was this incredible mashup of folk tunes from European immigrants and the really powerful, soulful traditions from African Americans. It was literally the soundtrack of their lives, songs about hard work, family, and just, getting through the day.
So, what was in their musical starter pack? Well, think of it as their basic loadout. You had the acoustic guitar holding down the rhythm, the fiddle for those catchy melodies, and of course, the banjo for that unmistakable twang. And the best part? These instruments were super portable, so you could just grab them and head over to a neighbor's house or a town dance.
Okay, so how does this local porch music go viral without the internet? One phrase: the Grand Ole Opry. This weekly radio show was, and I'm not kidding, basically the biggest live stream of its time. If you got to perform on the Opry, man, that was like hitting #1 on the YouTube trending page. You had officially made it.
And just imagine, every single Saturday night, families all across America would be gathered around their radios, tuning in. The Opry wasn't just a show. It built a massive nationwide community of fans. It pretty much single-handedly turned Nashville into Music City and launched local musicians into full-blown superstars.
But the story doesn't stop there. Oh no, it was time for a major level up. Welcome to level 2, the golden age. This is where country music really finds its classic sound and its look.
So, the 40s and 50s. This is when things really blew up. The songs were all about these huge, relatable feelings. Love, heartbreak, you know the deal. A new, louder sound called honky-tonk took over, which was perfect for noisy dance halls. And then TV comes along. Suddenly, fans could actually see their favorite artists who were rocking that iconic look we all know, the cowboy hats and the western boots. But with all this new fame came some major drama. We're talking about a huge split, a great divide. It was basically polished pop versus rebel rock. A battle for the very soul of country music was about to go down.
Okay, so here's the breakdown. On one side, you had the Nashville sound. Think of it like a game developer taking a cool indie game and giving it a super polished, shiny update so it sells more copies. It was smooth, radio-friendly, with strings and backup singers. But then you had outlaw country. This was like the original gamers creating their own mod to bring back that raw, gritty feel they loved. It was rebellious, super honest, and had this amazing rock and roll energy.
This big battle really just set the stage for the next massive evolution. Let's call it the power-up. Because country music was about to get bigger, a whole lot louder, and totally electric.
So check out how this all connects. In the 70s, the Outlaws basically proved you could do things your own way and still be huge. Then, the 80s hit, and music videos on TV made these singers into actual visual icons. And that all led to the 90s, when a new generation of artists who were super influenced by rock started selling out massive sports stadiums. We're talking huge. And that brings us right up to the modern era, the world we're living in now. Welcome to the Country Pop Takeover, where a whole new formula for a global hit was invented.
So, what even is country pop? Well, it's that sound that's all over your playlists. It's a hybrid. It takes that classic, honest storytelling that's always been at the heart of country, and it mashes it up with the super catchy hooks and electronic beats of modern pop. It's designed to sound great everywhere, from a bonfire in the country to a club in the city.
Now, this isn't like scientific data, but it gives you a pretty good idea of the recipe. Think about it. You take a huge chunk of a pop melody you can't forget, mix in that classic country storytelling, and then you layer it all over some modern electronic beats, and boom,
That's the formula for a global smash hit today.
But the game isn't over. The final level up in this story? Well, it's all about you. It's your country, your playlist. Because the internet came along and completely changed everything.
I mean, just think about it. Streaming services are like having the entire library of music ever made right at your fingertips. You can find new artists in seconds, you can follow them directly on social media, and you can support independent musicians who don't even have a major record label. It's put so much more power in our hands and in the hands of the artists themselves.
And the result of all that? Country music has officially gone global. It is not just an American thing anymore. There are these huge country music festivals in the UK and Australia and Germany, all over the world. Turns out those themes of love, life, and just figuring things out, they're pretty universal.
So if you take away just one thing, let it be this. Country music's story is all about constant evolution. It's always changing, always leveling up. It went from a small front porch tradition to a massive global digital playlist that we are all a part of.
Which brings us to right now, and to the future. Artists today are experimenting like crazy, mixing in sounds from hip-hop, EDM, you name it. So my question for you is, what's the next level? What's the next big power-up for country music? The story is still being written, and it's your turn to guess what's next.